cost of Skype, the cost of giving you a free iPhone every 6 months is falling towards zero, right? At the same time, the ability to make money from financial transactions using these devices is going through the roof. Did you know in the United States, we bank or we pass about $4 or $5 trillion a year on cards. Now, as you know, we've got wireless cards, and almost every single card you've got in your pocket already has a radio frequency identification device in it, which means instead of going to the ATM, you just go near the bank and you get money. But more seriously, that same chip can be embedded in the mobile phone, and indeed already has been in many mobile phones. So let's imagine a world where here's your handset or your smartphone, and you just put your thumb on it because it's biometric, it knows who I am, and straight away it just says P to pay. And what is it going to pay? It's going to pay the SMS that's just come in, which I've acknowledged, which came from the person who's serving me, who knows exactly who I am because they can see my mobile phone and the mobile phone number and who owns it because I'm within 2 or 3 meters of the till. Okay? Now, I wonder what kind of limit you'd be prepared to pay safely for on that with biometrics as well. Let's suppose the federal government passes a piece of legislation which says you can spend up to 100,000 euros on a single transaction, $100,000 on a single transaction, so long as it's biometrically confirmed using a mobile device, okay? Now we've got the technology to buy a boat or a small condominium in a depressed area of the United States. Or a house in my country. We live in strange days. Did you know that in Ireland, house prices have fallen by 50%? And they're going to fall another 10% probably very soon. We live in strange times, but there is still hope. Why? Because of this incredibly entrepreneurial society in which we're in, and the fact that technology is going to drive tremendous growth. But let's just come back to this. Can you imagine a moment when we could capture so much revenue from financial services that actually we could give away the rest for free? I put that case to banks and telcos, and I've said this: put your hands up if you think it could happen within the next 10 years. That the revenue that you get from telling people, say, hey, look, you have an iPhone. If you can agree to throw all your cards away and just keep one card, and you only spend a maximum of $500 a month on it just for emergencies, and all the rest comes through our iPhone Verizon account or whatever it is, then we will give you everything. We will give you the satellite, we'll give you mobile, we'll even give you broadband on Southwest Airlines, okay? We will give you as much as you can eat of anything. We'll replace all the technology. We'll give you a free iPad. We'll give you anything you want. Actually, let me ask you, put your hands up if you think within the next 10 years that could happen. Some combination of companies could actually do that. Just think about it, folks. How it would transform the market. The idea of going and buying a phone would be so last century. It all comes for free. It would come from your bank. Actually, it wouldn't. It would come from the mobile phone company who's actually got rid of the bank, because who needs the bank? Now we're paying everything on their mobile phone bill. It's revolutionary, it's potential, and what would happen to marketing? Would we need any advertising anymore? What do you think? No. Oh. Ah, we've got a debate about it. Can you see where we're going here? We're thinking, actually, it's all very well to have a conference on multimedia marketing and the digital future of TV and so on. But when you look at the broadest context in which all of this is changing, the implications are really profound and may change our marketing world much more deeply than we could ever have dreamt in the year 2011. Now, alongside of that, while that's speculation, here are some things which aren't, because they're happening right now. As a result of social networking, we have developed a very healthy skepticism for what I would call media hype. And we're becoming obsessed with truth. Revelation and information rather than spin. How does that matter? It matters a lot. You see, in the past, the consumer would have just been drinking from a fire hose of all of your advertising on TV, and would have just accepted some of the messages or not, and had very little mechanism to check them out. Now, within nanoseconds, they're not on the company website. They are on some social networking site finding out the truth about that particular product and whether it matches up. And of course, that creates issues of trust. And we've seen this on social networking, we've seen it on YouTube, we've seen it on Facebook with now 1 trillion page views every single month. This is a highly optimized area to find out the truth about your campaigns. It's one of the reasons why Salesforce, which is one of the most innovative IT companies in the world at the moment, in terms of enterprise cloud-based stuff, is saying that every large multinational they think is becoming a social enterprise. A social enterprise. That is an enterprise thoroughly fused with social media. Here's an example of it. Put your hands up if you've been to the TripAdvisor site. Okay, now let's imagine that you're visiting my city, London, and someone's booked you into a hotel. Let's say, I won't mention the name of the hotel, but you type in the name of the hotel, and of course the first thing that comes up on Google is, number 1, it's on the listings, is the best hotel in the world. Amazing. The second listing on Google is yet another submission from TripAdvisor, because Google thinks that TripAdvisor, with 60 million people posting reviews, is an incredibly important authoritative site. In fact, Google thinks this site is much more important than the official website of the marketing department of the hotel, right? Actually, there's another reason, which is commercial. Google's not interested in giving free publicity to the hotel. Google wants the hotel to buy an ad on the right-hand side, which it surely has to now, because all the rest is just filled with social networking sites. So we've got 3 choices you can go to in the next 3 seconds. One is, fantastic, most beautiful hotel in the world. The other is, pity about the rats, my wife nearly died. And then on the right-hand side, we have the official marketing department. Now, you have 1 click, and which way are you going to go to first? Put your hands up if you go first to the wonderful site, because you want to be encouraged. Now you're going to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put your hands up if you're really worried about the rats and the cockroaches and the wife nearly dying. That's 98% of you. And put your hands up if you believe neither of these particular comments, and you can know that the truth can be found only in the marketing department. Is it 1, 2, 3, 4? Well, it's interesting. You see, I have sympathy with all 3 positions. You see, number 1, actually, that's kind of interesting, but I kind of take it as read that it's a nice hotel. This one really worries me, so I go there first. But who wrote this one? The marketing department, thank you. Actually, they can't, because they'd get found out. So it's usually it's the CEO of the hotel's brother's sister-in-law, her teenage daughter, right? I'm joking, but I'm not joking. That's actually what happens. And who wrote this one? Competitors. Now, of course, I mean, you knew that. You knew that both of those comments were complete nonsense. You knew that one of them was written by a competitor and the other was written by the sister or the father's or whatever's girlfriend. You are the most sensible, rational people in the world. You know more about marketing than anybody. But the fact is, you all went for the story about the cockroaches, just like everybody else. What it shows us, my friends, the future is no longer about marketing copy, and it's certainly not about good websites. The future is not about some smart, slick TV campaign. The future, my friends, is about emotion. It's about passion. It's about engagement. It's about trust. It's about belief. Future TV, and we have this fantasy that the world is actually looking at our stuff anyway. I want to look at some of the statistics for multitasking. Actually, TV companies they don't know how to cope with this stuff. A friend of mine has just launched a book this week. He's in the Wall Street Journal. Martin Lindstrom has launched a marketing book. And he was telling me that he was interviewed this week, and there's a tachometer in front of you when you're on a live program. You just lost 5% of the audience because of that little joke. Yeah, keep going. Keep going. That's a good string. Yeah. The audience is climbing. Keep going. No. Martin. No, he killed them. And the audience goes up and down, and you're watching this happen in real time. So what's happening is social media are now dictating the very sentence, the very next sentence of the person that you're watching on a live show is being controlled by social media. 60 to 70% of people in America are surfing the web while watching TV. 29% are talking on their phones. 26% are texting or sending messages. And the rest are in the toilet, the restroom. They're still watching TV. Actually, one of the commonest places on the face of this earth to do email is in the restroom. So we need a special marketing campaign for people who are at the moment in the restroom, because they'll be amenable to some particular kinds of messages that they wouldn't be at other stages in their life. 60% of people are seeing QR codes. Not very many people are using them. QR codes take the problem to another level because we are actually driving people into a different experience and away from the live content that they were watching. Maybe one of the reasons will be to get into these daily deals and the rest. Here's my big question. What are these people actually thinking, and where has he gone? I mean, how are you going to communicate to this guy? Hey, in the restroom, yeah. Okay. But what are we doing? You know, so there I am. Here's a person. He's on the beach. He's on the beach. He's got a Kindle. He's been reading a book or trying to. His kids are calling him to go into the sea. He's doing his email on a BlackBerry, and he's looking at an app on his iPhone, all at the same time. So he's 3 devices on the beach. Is he at work? Is he open to your product? In what kind of mindset is he? What kind of emotions is he reading? I'm not terribly interested. Everyone's very excited about geographic advertising. Yes, that's really interesting, but it's only 0.1% of the issue. The real issue is the ecosystem. I'm not interested in what's within the next mile. I want to know what is within 2 meters of this person. I want to know, are they within 2 meters of the TV even though the TV is off? So we encourage them to turn it on. I want to know whether they're in the kitchen or not. I want to know, there's a taxi, and here's a taxi. I want to know, is this person in the taxi or just outside? If the person is in the taxi, do they wear glasses? How can I tell? Because of a radio frequency identification device on the glasses that they bought from Walmart. That tells me, that radiates information to the taxi about the model of glasses, whether it's short sight, long sight, which tells me something about their age. I know something about how much he paid. And straight away now, in the middle of the taxi, I can stream advertising to this person, offering them corrective laser surgery for problems with reading. So, by the way, you were just hearing, Dean was saying that he's discovered why it's difficult sometimes to order a taxi in San Francisco. There is a telephone database. If you want a taxi, well, it's good to give them your phone number in advance, and they collect information about you. They know how many trips you usually do. They know how important a customer you are, and some of them know how much you tip, or whether you tip at all. So we're talking about a world which is learning. Here's another one. Coca-Cola has just launched Coca-Cola machines that will deliver a customized drink, a complete mix of your favorite tastes into a bottle of your choice. How does that happen? It happens through an iPhone app. And the iPhone app sends signals at intervals which the local Coca-Cola machine can see. So as you walk towards the Coca-Cola machine, it recognizes you by name and begins to prepare your favorite drink, or at least it's got the recipe lined up. Tomorrow's world, you see, is more than marketing. It's about stitching up the entire customer experience. What does it mean for marketing strategy? In conclusion, it means this. It's one customer, it's one relationship, it's one ecosystem, it's one environment. Sales and marketing, they've become fused. So the chat screens from the call center are popping up on the online world. The online world is enriching the call center experience. The customer sales is all mixed up now with after-sales support and the rest. We're talking about a mixture of informing, social media, revelation, but no hype, please. We're talking about smart campaigns such as Mars Planets did. Not thinking anymore about just pay-per-click, which is an old-fashioned, last-century way of thinking about the online world. Because we can get metrics in the online world, we've got a disease called metricitis, which we don't use in quite such a degree. We don't have to quite the same degree in TV. We need to be rethinking about how we develop brands in a holistic way, recognizing that TV, as Dean said, is going nowhere. It's not going to disappear. The TV will continue to be absolutely pivotal as it continues to reinvent itself in a much more digital and interactive world. Attribution will continue to be a challenge, and in the middle of it all, we will need to redefine this social contract. The social contract is between a consumer that consumes all kinds of free stuff and a consumer that recognizes that it costs to provide that free stuff, so that gives us permission to advertise. And the social contract is keeping these two in balance. So Google doesn't do too many ads on a search page, or MediaMind's not streaming too many banners onto the iPhone in the middle of an app experience. And getting that balance right requires constantly listening as we move from a hype world to information-based and revelation, from mass market to personal, and from invasive, interrupting type ads where we have to turn the volume up on the TV to get attention, to ads which actually are pervasive. They are part of the very fabric of the world in which we live, helping our customers, coming alongside them in their journey of life, rather than demanding their attention. And as we do that, as we begin to use the information which our customers are gladly giving us or unconsciously giving us, we also have a moral duty to use it wisely and sensitively, because actually some of our customers will be really freaked out if they realize just how much we already knew, especially online. So we need to be subtle as we engage them, and it's all about making life better. And as we seek to do that, as we seek to see the world through our customers' eyes, as we seek to celebrate this amazing digital explosion, then we will find ourselves reinventing what marketing is. Actually, I think we need a new word. I'm not sure marketing selling is it. We need to find a new piece of vocabulary which somehow allows us to understand what our calling really is, which is to come alongside the customer in their journey of life and be there just in time with amazing information which they've never learned before about your extraordinary products and services which will really help and enhance their lives. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Patrick.